Hello, my name is George McBee. We'll be reading from the Children's Bible, chapters 24, 25, 26, and 27. Rebecca. Genesis chapter 24, verses 62 through 67. On the day when the servant and Rebecca arrived, Isaac was meditating in the fields. He looked up and saw camels coming toward him. Who's that beautiful woman there, he wondered. At the same time, Rebecca looked toward Isaac. Who is that handsome man? She asked Abraham's servant. That is Isaac. She quickly covered her face with her veil. But her eyes shone when Isaac stopped her camel. It was love at first sight. God had known just the right person to care for Isaac, and just the right person to care for Rebecca. Twin brothers. Genesis chapter 25, verses 22 through 26. Isaac and Rebekah were married and lived happily together. But as the years went by, they still did not have a little boy or girl. Rebekah and Isaac waited and waited, until finally Isaac prayed to God, asking him to make it possible for Rebekah to have a baby. A short time later, God answered Isaac's prayer, but not in the way he expected. There was not one baby growing inside Rebekah, but two twins. The babies got bigger and bigger. Rebekah could often feel their little feet pushing against her. One night, Rebekah woke up suddenly. The babies had been kicking and hitting each other so hard. She hurt inside. She prayed to God, Lord, are my babies all right? If I hurt when they push and shove, they must hurt too. Why is this happening? God answered her, the two boys The two boys you carry will someday become the fathers of whole nations. One people will become stronger than the other, and the elder son will do what the younger tells him. The time finally came for Rebekah to have her babies. The eldest, the first one to come out, was red. All of his little body was covered with hair. He was named Esau, which meant hairy. A few minutes later, his brother was born. His tiny hand was holding an expensive onto Esau's foot. So his parents named him Jacob, which meant he grabbed the heel. An expensive meal. Genesis chapter 25, verses 27 through 34. Many years passed, and the boys grew up. Many years passed, and the boys grew up. They were both good at doing different things. Jacob was quiet, often helping at home and talking to his parents. Esau could hunt and catch wild animals. One day, when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came back from hunting. He was very hungry because he had not eaten anything all day. Quick, give me some of that stew, he said to Jacob. He sat down on the other side of the fire from Jacob. He could hardly wait for Jacob to dish up the stew. Jacob listened to his older brother. stew, he said to Jacob. He sat down on the other side of the fire from Jacob. He could hardly wait for Jacob to dish up the stew. Jacob listened to his elder brother talk about how hungry he was, and he thought of a plan. Jacob knew that there was one thing Esau had that Jacob wanted, and that was Esau's birthright. Because Esau was the eldest, Esau had a right to receive all his father's riches and animals and servants after Isaac died. This Jacob wanted that. This right was called Esau's birthright. Jacob wanted that. So Jacob made a deal with Esau. If you're really so hungry, Jacob said, if you're really, really hungry, then sell me your birthright, and I'll give you some stew. Esau hardly heard what his little brother was mumbling about. Esau was hungry. He thought his stomach had shriveled up and died. He did not care what he had to do. He wanted food. Yes, all right, whatever you say. Give me some stew, now. Swear to it first, Jacob said. Esau swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Rebecca is cunning. Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 through 40. As the two brothers grew older, Jacob became Rebekah's favorite son. She loved Esau too, but she wanted only the very best for Jacob. When Isaac had grown very old, he could no longer see. One day, Isaac told Esau, "My son, because you are the eldest, I want you to give my blessing first. So go hunting and cook some tasty meat for me. Then I will give you your blessing. Your blessing." Rebekah had overheard what Isaac said to Esau. After Esau left, she said to Jacob, "Your father is about to give Esau his blessing. I want that for you. Go and kill 2 of our best goats. I will fix them just the way Isaac likes his meat. Then you can bring it to him, and you will get his blessing instead of your brother." Jacob did as he was told. When the food was ready, Jacob glued goat fur to Jacob's goat fur to Jacob's neck and arms and hands, so his skin would feel like Esau's hairy skin. Jacob went to his father's room. "How did you find the food so fast, my son?" Isaac asked. "The Lord helped me." "But you sound like Jacob." "Come here," Isaac said. He ran his hands over Jacob and felt the hair of goat's skin. "You feel like Esau, though," he said. Then Isaac tasted the food Jacob gave him. "Ah," he said, "here's your blessing." A blessing was a very special thing. Isaac knew God was listening. A blessing was a very special thing. Isaac knew God was listening. He asked him to make his son rich and to have other people, including his brother, serve this son, he asked God, to bless all the people and who are good to his son, and curse those who are mean. When Isaac finished praying, Jacob left the room. No sooner was Jacob gone, though when Esau came back from his hunting trip, he rushed into his father's room. But Isaac said, "Why have you come back a second time?" But this is my first time," Esau said. Isaac sighed. "Then that must have been Jacob then. Esau, your brother has stolen your blessing." Esau was furious. Well, let me turn this on. like and subscribe.